If you're in the crypto market, you have 4 months to prepare for what's coming around the corner, and that's not just a clickbait title. So in this video, we're going to talk about the DTCC, what they are planning to do in 2027 and beyond. This is massive. We're talking $28 trillion. Then we're going to move into stablecoins. What's happening with stablecoins? You'll see that we are super close to true adoption when we think about the institutions coming in to actually start using this technology in a major way. Then we will talk about the Clarity Act, also some things happening in Europe. Then on the back end, if you stick around, we're going to talk about the more macro events that are taking place, the global conflict. So if you see this weekend react and the markets tank, you know what's going on and you're not freaking out. You're not rushing out to sell because you saw what was coming. So let's go ahead and get to the first story. It's going to be the DTCC announcement and what's going on. But to give you an idea why I am saying you have 4 months, it's going to be the announcement that came out on May 4th, 2026 from DTCC. A quick refresher for guys that maybe forgot or you haven't seen it yet. So check it out here. It says the DTCC advances development of new tokenization services, convenes 50 plus firms to drive digital asset adoption. But what I want to highlight is the time frame here. We have a limited production run of RWA tokenized and using DTC's tokenization services in July 2026, and then plans to launch the service in October 2026. So why is that big? Well, if you've been following this channel, you are aware that the US government's fiscal Q1 starts in October. So as of October, the United States government is focusing on events happening in 2027. That's going to be a market shift, of course, and then having the DTCC having this go live in October at the same time here. Check this out. If you missed this announcement from Brad Garlinghouse on June 18th, check it out with me. It says, I've been in crypto long enough to know when a moment is real. This is one of them. 10 years of Swell converging with real scale institutional adoption and Swell plus Apex together for the first time this fall. And he's talking about Ripple Swell happening in New York, October 27th through the 29th. What a perfect time. But now let's keep going and get back into the DTCC situation and what's happening in 2027, because this is where that $28 trillion steps in. So check it out with me here. This is going to come from Son of Richard, and this comes out on June 18th, 2026 as well. I'm going to move pretty quick through this, so check it out. It says, by December 31st, 2026, every U.S. Treasury trade in America must clear through the DTCC's FICC, $28 trillion in annual volume forced into one pipeline. Then we come down over here. It says the $28 trillion in annual treasury forced into a single clearing pipeline in 6 months. DTCC acquired Securency and rebranded as DTCC Digital Asset, whose protocol natively supports the XRP ledger. And keep in mind, this is being forced. This isn't something there's exceptions to. There's no opt-out. This is regulatory mandate that all the U.S. Treasury trade in America must go through the DTCC's FICC. So that is $28 trillion that will start flooding through. Think about the impact that's going to have on these assets if you hold these correct assets. Now, before we move into the stablecoins and what's going on with the banks and all these conflicts happen with them, of course, for the people that have been watching the channel, I've been talking about going live. So I'm going to do a live event for the first time ever. And during this live event, I'm going to show you where my quarterly donations go for people that don't know. On this channel, my affiliate links like through Tangem and Treasure or any kind of super gifts and thanks, and then even my membership side, all that revenue, 100% goes to NAMI for mental health awareness for people that need the help. So on that live event, which is going to be happening June 23rd, I originally said 1 p.m. Central Time, but I'm going to switch it to 7 p.m. Central Time in hopes more people can make it. Hopefully that helps you guys out, but that's going to be a one-off special video with some new announcements of the direction of the channel. I hope to see you there. And also, while we're here, guys, if you could hit that like button, leave in some kind of comment, and consider subscribing to this channel if you feel like I've earned that from you. If I have, towards the end of the video, consider hitting the like button and that subscribe button. We would love to have you a part of the channel. Now let's keep going. Let's move into the stable coins. I want to move a little bit quicker here to save some time. So again, all my research is down in the video description. So check it out. Coming from Coin Bureau, this is an interesting one actually. So check it out. It says banks to launch token that could switch between bank deposit and stablecoins. Custodia and Vantage Bank have proposed a token that can switch between a normal bank deposit and a stablecoin. Inside the banking network, it acts like a deposit held by a bank, while outside the network, it becomes a stablecoin backed by cash or short-term treasuries. Banks have been testing it since March ahead of the wider rollout Q4 2026, October. What a weird time, huh? Then over here from BSCN, Fidelity launches Genius Act Ready Stablecoin Reserve Fund. Fidelity has launched a new money market fund designed specifically for stablecoin issuers. The Fidelity Reserve Digital Fund launched on June 15th and invests only in reserve assets permitted under Genius Act framework. Eligible assets include U.S. Treasury securities, cash, overnight repurchase agreements, and compliant government money market funds. Then over here, also from BSCN, we have stablecoin issuers are about to get treated like banks. The U.S. wants to know exactly who's holding these stablecoins. The Fed, Treasury, OCC, FDIC, and NCUA dropped a joint proposal today that requires issuers to verify every customer's identity, the same KYC regime banks and brokerages already run. The Genius Act is getting teeth: name, address, ID checks, terrorist list screening. Then we keep going. We have from BSCN as well. The talk about speed. Polygon now supports 5,000 payments per second. That is huge. I just want to throw that out there on your radar. That's insane. Then also from BSCN, they're on a roll apparently today. We have Zebec just announced partnership with the first GBP stablecoin. Zebec has secured an official partnership with GBP, and for those that don't know who that is the premier British pound stablecoin in the UK. Okay, sorry, I need to slow down. The first UK-based GBP stablecoin issuer, highly regulated token GBP, will bring its pound-denoted stablecoin to the ZBCN ecosystem, and at a time where the non-USD stablecoin sector is showing serious signs of promise. Then from here, from Cointelegraph, we have new Alchemy's agent card gained access to Visa's network, enabling AI agents to make payments through Visa Intelligent Commerce. If you don't know about Alchemy Pay, I would check them out. I keep saying it. I don't know if anybody's picking up on them yet. Maybe we should do a deep dive into them sometime. And then over here from MSB Intel, we have breaking: Stellar XLM has flipped Zcash by market cap, entering the top 10 crypto excluding stablecoins. That is exciting. All right, so as we put all that together, we think about what's really unfolding here. I see this as the Clarity Act is still being delayed, which we're going to talk about here in a second before we go into the macro events. The Clarity Act is being delayed, but at the same time, we are watching banks and institutions have time to reposition themselves, get set, get aligned. And I think once they are ready to go, this is when that Clarity Act will kick in. I think they're just buying time here. And again, we've been talking about it for a bit. It's exciting to see the momentum and the progress we're seeing. We're seeing stablecoins explode this year. It's insane how fast this growth really is right now, and payments as well, right? We're seeing agentic payments really starting to hit the ground running. I think 2027 will be a massive year for agentic payments. But moving into the next piece, let's get into what Europe's going on, and then also the Clarity Act for anybody that's keeping up with that. Check it out here. This is going to come from Crypto Rover on June 19th, 2026. Read along with me. It says, breaking: Europe banned a cash payments over £10,000 and will require ID for every Bitcoin transaction starting in 2027. While America talks about zero capital gains tax on Bitcoin, the UAE builds crypto banks with virtually no restrictions. Europe is building the financial surveillance state. And then they have the CBDCs, right? And then we have over here from Cointelegraph, this is going to be the market structure bill. We have the latest: bipartisan crypto negotiators are on the 11th hour push to finalize the Clarity Act market structure bill before August recess per Punchbowl. The Senate AG committee is now at the center of key jurisdiction talks. And one more we have from CoinMarketCap. This is all about legislation, guys. That's why I'm trying to keep all this together. The world's largest futures exchange is taking regulators to court. The CFTC cleared crypto perpetual futures in the U.S. through Kalshi and Coinbase. CME Group disagreed and is filing suit today. CME's argument: perps are swaps under the Dodd-Frank Act, not futures. The CFTC called this lawsuit frivolous. So why does CME care about this much? Look at the size of the prize. Perpetuals open interest is $405.8 billion. Traditional futures open interest, $3.32 billion. Perps are almost the entire derivatives market. This is what the fight is really about. So as we start to put all this together, let's put it together right quick from just the stories we've heard. The DTCC going live in 2027. Also in October 2026, they are going live to do the RWA tokenization, right? Then from there, we're looking at the stablecoins and the banks interacting. The banks are creating their own network. They're buying time, is what I'm reading through all those stablecoin stories. Then we look at Europe and America with the Clarity Act as well being pushed back. Europe, I don't know what you guys are doing out there. I know they're really pushing CBDCs, but Europe is doing a really strange option out there, in my opinion. And then we look at what's happening right now as we're talking about the CME group, the lawsuits, the CFTC. I feel like all the things in the back end are getting ironed out. And by that time that's done and the public has an opportunity to invest in the market, they're going to be priced out. So it's a very interesting timing for me. All this is being rolled out. But let's move on to this next piece. This is the more macro event with the global conflict, and then we're going to wrap it up with the market and how all this ties together. I'm going to move really quick here, guys, because I know I'm getting late. So check it out. If you don't follow my post on YouTube, I do kind of throw out some stuff here and there. I hope I'm not spamming you guys. It's not my intent. I just like to bring stuff out as it unfolds, so you don't have to wait for a video. But check it out. If you do follow stuff I post on YouTube, I posted this yesterday, so check it out. It says, remember that banks are closed tomorrow in the United States. Keep this on your radar as we move throughout the holiday weekend. Read these two stories to see the potential concern. So I essentially posted with the Strait of Hormuz letter that breaking Iran suspended 60-day negotiation period with the U.S. over a direct violation of MOU's first clause. And we have from Cointelegraph, this is going to be June 19th now. It says latest U.S.-Iran talks have been canceled. Then right over here from Mario Nafal, Iran closes the Strait of Hormuz once more. I don't want to keep reading on because of the time-wise. Then we have from the Hormuz letter as well. It says breaking, Israel has launched a new overnight ground advance to southern Lebanon with Hezbollah forces engaging Israel troops directly at zero distance, destroying 4 Israeli military vehicles and downing helicopters during evacuation flights. Then keep going here from Bull Theory, June 19th, we have breaking, Iran's Persian Gulf Strait Authority has issued an official notice on reopening the Strait of Hormuz. Passage requests must go through PGSA. Requests must be submitted at least 48 hours before arrival. For the next 60 days, Iran will waive all security, safety, and environmental tariffs on ship owners. Mine-affected areas remain near the strait. Vessels must follow a coordinated route and schedule passage time before entering the strait. Okay, so we're back to the Clarity Act's on, the Clarity Act's off. The strait is open, the strait is closed. We have an agreement, we don't have an agreement. Right now we're at max confusion. If you look around, there is so much distractions happening right now, and I do think that's on purpose, especially what we see the bigger plan unfolding. They are trying to keep that distracted from people. They don't want you to really see what's happening, in my opinion. And we put all this together, we can see how close we are to this new financial system really growing legs. And let me show you what I'm talking about. We're going to talk about Japan's market and the United States market as well. So let's move into the next side of it. This is going to come from Coin Bureau on June 18th, and this has to do with Japan's market. Very interesting what's going on right now. It says, alert, Japanese yen nears a 40-year low against the US dollar. USD JPY hit 160.9, erasing all the yen's gains from Japan's late April intervention. Tokyo reportedly spent a record 11.7 trillion yen, which is 72.9 billion US dollars to support the currency, but the move has failed to hold. Japan says it's ready to act at any time as the Fed signals another rate hike, while Japan's policy rate remains just 1%. Then we look at the United States, what's happening with Kevin Warsh and our Fed. Check it out. We have breaking summary of Fed Chair Kevin Warsh's press conference. Inflation remains a high 2% target unchanged. Focus on inflation drivers, fixed past misses. Forward guidance ended. No more rate hikes. Policy still restrictive. Prevent broader price pressure. Then also from Crypto Rover, we have today could be I'll give you the date so you know he's talking about June 18th and right before the holiday. Keep in mind, says today could become a huge turning point for markets. A record $8.3 trillion worth of options expires today. This is the largest single day options expiry ever recorded in the financial history. It says to understand how massive this is, the entire economy. The UK entire economy is worth around $4.2 trillion, and we have $8.3 trillion worth of options expiring. But we roll down here, gives you a better understanding of what this actually looks like. It says today, $8.3 trillion worth of those positions disappears at once. And according to analysts, that cushion is already much weaker than usual right now. That means if markets react to bad news next week, which is this weekend through next week, guys, if you're watching this in real time, there may be much less protection liquidity in the system than investors are used to. What makes this even more important is that the previous record expires 2024 and 2025 were followed by heavy volatility in the weeks after. And the expiry is far larger than both of those, which means the move could be much bigger too. So if we are seeing the negative announcements in the market, like we just saw, we saw that throughout this week, there's euphoria, there's peace deal being signed and all this showmanship. But if you watch this channel, I think even on my Monday video, we talked about, hey, be aware of what Friday could be. They could back out at any moment and change. And here we are. And I pointed out the fact that it's a holiday. It seems like anytime the holidays come around and banks are shut down, big events happen where banks can't react. I feel like that's done very deliberately. And now we see Japan's hurting, America's hurting. We'll see what how this week plays out coming up in the next couple of weeks. Just keep in mind, all this is happening. So if you see the market tanking, you're going to see the crypto market tank as well. It's going to be volatile, in my opinion, unless something changes, unless we get some kind of big news announcement. But definitely keep an eye on these stories throughout the weekend. If you see your favorite project react a certain way, stay calm, go research what's causing that, and then you'll feel better about what's really happening. You'll understand it's not just your project, right? That's all I have for you in this video. Guys, if you did enjoy it, please hit the like button. A simple thumbs up down in the comment goes a long way. And again, if you feel like I've earned your subscription, please subscribe to the channel if that's something you like. This is the kind of reporting you like, where we bring facts and we give a different way to look at the crypto market. That's all I have for you guys in this video. Thank you for hanging out. Before I let you guys go, take care of yourself, take care of the people around you, become the change you want to see in the world. I'll catch you on the next one.